Hi, Abby Lee Miller here with famous birthdays, and I'm doing a little Q&A, so I'm gonna start. All right, what is my biggest pet peeve? Huh? You ask these kids who are extremely intelligent, they're in AP classes, blah, 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 ask them a question and they say, huh? Instead of, pardon me, or excuse me, or come again. That is my biggest pet peeve. Even adults do it. Have you been surprised by the level of success and fame many of the former Dance Moms girls have accomplished? No, not at all. It was expected. I trained them, come on. Of course they were gonna be successful. What most people don't know is that I've had students in 32 different Broadway shows. And there's only one Broadway in New York City. So I'm very proud of that. And you don't hear about them because they didn't grow up with social media. They, were before that. I've had kids work all over the world. I've had 17 back-to-back contracts in Tokyo Disneyland. I've had the dance captain at Beauty and the Beast in Walt Disney World, Florida for 23 years. Not the same girl, but my student has been the dance captain. It's insane. An education at the Abby Lee Dance Company can take you anywhere you want to go. What do you find most challenging about your work and most rewarding? Well, the most challenging thing about any choreographer is finding the right music, choosing the right piece for that child, and then choreographing a winning number. That's all challenging. But on Dance Moms, it's even worse because we have to choose music from a library that some, idiot from Lifetime made a deal with, and we're very limited in what we can choose. That's why we don't do too much musical theater on the show, because there's not a lot of musical theater songs. So that's the most challenging part of my job, and we have to do it in a week. So we get the music on Tuesday, we argue about it until Wednesday. Wednesday, the child gets the solo, duet, trio, whatever, the kids, and then we have to choreograph Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. In 2 days, those kids learn those numbers. We get on a bus on Friday or a plane, we fly to the competition, and once we're traveled there, then Saturday they compete. So every other studio in the country is doing a routine for 6, 7, 8 months before they compete. My kids have 2 days. Now, the most rewarding part would be watching them on stage. I didn't used to watch my competition numbers. I was so nervous. I would be out in the lobby pacing back and forth. And when I heard their music, I would actually do the routine out in the lobby that the kids were doing on stage. And I could tell if they hit the penché en releve or if they hit the back tuck or whatever it was, because I could hear the audience reaction. So the most rewarding would be the win. I mean, watching them dance, seeing the routine, and seeing them win the awards. That's it. All right, here we go. Is there a cause that you're passionate about? And if so, what is it? I wasn't a really big activist prior to all of this, but now that I'm in a wheelchair and I'm, navigating the streets on my wheels, I realize how difficult it is for people that are handicapped or who, are disabled in any way, because you just come down the sidewalk and all of a sudden you hit the roots of a tree, have grown through the curb or the sidewalk, and it's all chunked up, it's way up high. I mean, how do you get over it? And I'm in a power chair. How does somebody that's using their arms get over that obstacle? It's horrible. There's so many places, buildings, that are not handicap accessible. You have trouble getting in and out. You have trouble opening the doors. So many facilities have a blue sticker on them with a handicap chair or wheelchair. Okay, fine. But that doesn't mean the door's automatic. There's not a sensor on it. You can't push a button and have the door open. I don't know what the sticker's about. It's just to make everybody believe that they're handicap accessible. They're not. I rely every day on strangers, people to open a door for me, to hold the door open, to block the elevator door from shutting on me, handing me something on a shelf at the grocery store. It's crazy. And I never realized it. I was one of those people that, walked around on my 2 legs and never had a problem. And now that I'm in the chair, I sympathize with everybody. It's horrible. And now I'm going to try to do something about it. So I can use my platform and my social media and the television show to try to make a point that any new business opening up, please, please, please make sure your facility can adapt to people that are disabled. We have the next question is, do you prefer TV shows or movies? What are your recent favorites? All right, if anybody knows me, you know that I'm a big movie buff. I see a movie every Friday night because I need to escape my reality TV, and be involved in somebody else's story, in somebody else's life or their problems or their comedy, whatever. And I love everything that Rebel Wilson does. She's a personal friend, and I think she is a hero, and she is just brilliant. I like old movies. I like dance, musical theater movies, of course. And I also love TV. Come on, I'm on TV. Of course I love TV. I think the new Fosse Verdon series they're doing on FX is tremendous. It's so good. Every dancer has to watch it. And I like all the dance shows, but especially Dance Moms. What would I tell my 18-year-old self? Probably the same thing I tell every young dance teacher starting out that's asking for advice. Don't bend your rules. Whatever your rules are, they are. Don't bend them for anybody or any kid. Don't give away your services for free, because I did that. I did that for years. I felt bad for a kid. I felt bad for the family. This, that, the other thing. I would never do it again, because that same kid who can't afford dance lessons, whose mother can't afford to pay you, they're at the mall buying a $150 pair of jeans. You know, priorities. We all make choices. Now, people that, really struggle and they come in and they want to work out something with you, that's fine. But just giving away for free, no, never again. I would never do that. And I put my life on hold so that my students could be successful. I put my love life on hold. I put my social life on hold. I missed a ton of weddings and events and, parties with friends, because I had to be at a competition. I had to be in class. I had to be there all day, Sunday, every day for nothing, working my butt off when, where are those kids now? Some of them are extremely successful, extremely well off. Do I even get a Christmas card? Nope. That's why you shouldn't give your work away for free, your knowledge. All right, that's my advice to my 18-year-old self. And I started teaching at 14, so it's even before that. What is something you learned from your students on Dance Moms? I guess we should be light and funny. Probably techie stuff with my phone that I don't know how to do. I just look at it and I'm like, I just don't know what to do. And they, push this and swipe that and do this and do that, and boom, suddenly they're where I wanted to be. So I would have to say that technical advice is what I received from my students on Dance Moms. All right, what would you say is the biggest evolution the dance community has gone through in the past 5 years? Wow. I think children dancing professionally has really come to fruition since Dance Moms started. I think the Dance Moms girls, as well as myself, we grew up with that social media. We were in right at the beginning, and as social media grew, we were right there on that, bandwagon, doing everything, being so visible. And I think that's really changed dance. I think there's so much out there for young dancers to watch, to emulate, to inspire them. When I was growing up, you didn't have that. You had to go to New York, see a Broadway show, buy the ticket, sit there and watch these incredible dancers and the amazing choreography they were doing. Now, it's at your fingertips. It's right in your hands. You have all this knowledge. And dance is a constantly evolving art form. It changes every single day, and you can be right on top of that with your phone. All right, looking back on Dance Moms, what's one thing you would have done differently? That's easy. There's a lot. One thing One thing is I had a contract at my studio with all the girls, and every single kid that came in to take lessons, even a 3-year-old, had to sign this. And there was a bunch of rules and regulations, and no swearing and no smoking and no, poor behavior, and the mothers couldn't have poor behavior. And those were really typical things that were in the contract. But there also was a 10% that I get for any work that I get them, any dance related work. So if somebody was to go on and do a big movie or do another television show or a performance, I would get 10% of what that kid made. Now, it's not really about the money. Everybody thinks that. It's not. It's about the control. Just to make sure that they were doing something that was in keeping with the Abbey Lee Dance Company. Something that was positive, that was clean, that was wholesome. It was more about the girls being classy young women and able to walk into a meeting and shake everybody's hand and look them in the eye. Those are the things that I taught, and those are the things that the contract kind of kept with them as they grew up. And one of the producers from the TV show ripped them all up and said, "Oh, you're never gonna need this." Boy, was he wrong. Do I have any new projects coming up? Yes, I do. I have a new TV show. It's scripted. It's about teenagers, and yes, it's about dancing, but it has kind of a paranormal twist to it. And hopefully we'll be holding auditions soon. I also have 2 other television shows that have to do with something completely different than dance. One is scripted, one is a reality show, and as soon as I sell them to somebody, you'll see them. Well, that's it for the questions. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at The Real Abbey Lee, but please also follow ALDC Studio LA and ALDC Studio PGH for Pittsburgh, okay? Give them some love. And thanks to Famous Birthdays, September 21st, but I'm not telling you the year. Let's just say that Bryn was a lot closer than that other girl.